Hi everyone, and today I want to share with you the top 5 phones of all time. Now let's keep in mind here, this video is heavily based on my opinion and the phones that I wanted to buy at the time they came out. Also, most of these phones are after 2005, so if you're looking for phones before 2005, well, this isn't really the place to look because I don't completely know. So let's start off the list with number 5, the dangerous Sidekick LX 2009. Now, besides the very long product name, this was actually a pretty interesting phone with an interesting design. It was very well set up to be used the way people use phones today, rather than as a phone. See, most people don't really talk on the phone as much anymore. They use their phone for apps and text messaging and stuff like that. The Sidekick was really set up for this, and when you were using it, it was falling into the most comfortable position as possible. It had a keyboard with a screen above it, that interesting flip-out design that still interests me today, and I don't know why they don't make any phones like that anymore. It did not have a touchscreen, but that was not standard for the time, so this pretty much fit in. Moving on to number 4, the Samsung Blast. This was a messaging phone for T-Mobile, and instead of sliding out in the landscape orientation to reveal a QWERTY keyboard, it slid out in the portrait orientation. Now, unlike most portrait sliders of the time, it did not reveal a numeric keypad. It revealed this interesting 2-digit per key QWERTY keyboard that with predictive text allowed you to type pretty much just as fast as a QWERTY keyboard. Now, in addition to those features, it also had instant messaging and email, but these worked over SMS, meaning you wouldn't have to pay for that expensive data plan. This was nice and convenient for those of us who had unlimited texting but did not have that data plan. Moving on to number 3, the HTC Shadow. This phone is pretty interesting, running on the T-Mobile network, Windows Mobile operating system. It also provided that QWERTY keyboard like we saw on the Blast where it puts 2 letters per key. Pretty interesting. Also had some additional software features because it was a smartphone. Moving on to number 2, the Nokia N95. Now this phone was pretty interesting, it had a lot of different models, but besides that, it had a numeric keypad instead of that QWERTY that you might have seen on other smartphones, and I'm not sure whether to call this a smartphone or not, but it did have a lot of smartphone features. It was nice and compact. While it was a little thick, it was definitely more compact than most of the smartphones that were available at the time. Moving on to number 1, the most interesting phone, according to my opinion, this is the Palm Pre 3. Or should it be called the HP Pre 3, because HP bought Palm, things went downhill from there. So, the 2 previous models of the Pre had problems, okay? The first one was late to release, the second one didn't improve so much. Now this one was going to be the one that made everything different. It was going to be a top-end smartphone, and it was going to be great, except the fact that it didn't really come out in the US. So it was supposed to have nice multitasking, the only real multitasking that I've ever seen on a phone, really. Now, iOS 7 is starting to copy that, but at the time, definitely one of the best phones that I definitely wanted to buy, top of my list, no other options, just the HP Pre 3, except I had to go with a lesser phone because it never came out. But, besides the point, one of the most interesting phones of all time. And definitely one of the best, most amazing, whatever this list is, definitely covers all of those bases. Number 1 for sure. That's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon with another video.